In the grand history of the United States of America, there have only been 44 men selected by their peers to assume the office of president. But they were just that, men, before, during, and after. Here are 44 facts about those men. Ever the superstitious man, George Washington believed his wooden teeth to be haunted. John Adams' silly head was so round, it was drawn on and used as the world's first globe. Thomas Jefferson never farted. James Madison was known as Cat Eyes McGillicuddy because he had the eyes of a cat that he killed behind a bar and kept in a jar around his neck until the day he died in a bar fight against a blind cat. James Monroe invented the phrase, "Hey ho, I'm James Monroe, and yo stank butt has gots to go." John Quincy Adams was the first Doctor Who. At the age of 21, Andrew Jackson became a Sith Lord after striking down his master. Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, and John Tyler were all actually gay dinosaurs. James K. Polk was not only the Napoleon of the stump, he was also the general who moved your rump, leading freak nasty twerk sessions all up in the White House. His words, not ours. Zachary Taylor stole 50 cakes. Millard Fillmore was so fond of naked cartwheels he wanted to make it America's state bird. Franklin Pierce had such smoky eyes, the White House was reputed to smell of mesquite until well into the 1980s. James Buchanan was so fond of crying, if you listen very closely, on a very still night, you can still hear him crying, even right now. Abe Lincoln was Asian. Andrew Johnson was fond of challenging people to push-up contests, where they would also eat a pie. It was called the Pie Push-Up Johnson Race, and he loved it. He won all of them. Ulysses S. Grant invented the phrase, "I'm Ulysses S. Grant," and that makes me Ulysses S. Great at being president. Rutherford B. Hayes was actually not a man at all, but rather a shadow cast against the wall from a pile of leaves and an old scarecrow. James Garfield's beard was made of meticulously trained ants. Chester A. Arthur awards 10 points to Gryffindor. Grover Cleveland was fat. Benjamin Harrison's a replicant. Grover Cleveland, still fat, bro. Still fat. William McKinley invented the phrase, "I'm William McKinley. I'm also William McKindly at talking to these ladies." Theodore Roosevelt invented the little hole in the front of underwear for boys. He called it the ding-a-ling sleeve. After his death, doctors found a full ham sandwich, uneaten, under the belly of William Howard Taft. Woodrow Wilson liked grape juice. Warren G. Harding got into quite a scrape with Nate Dogg involving some freaks at the East Side Motel. Calvin Coolidge had his portrait painted after being put in timeout. Herbert Hoover's favorite phrase was, "This sucks, and I should know because I'm named after the vacuum thing that sucks other stuff." Franklin Delano Roosevelt once played 7 Minutes in Heaven with Joseph Stalin. Harry S. Truman had a pebble in his shoe from the age of 3 until the day he died. Dwight D. Eisenhower liked to pinch butts. John F. Kennedy's head alone took 4 animatronic puppeteers to operate. Lyndon B. Johnson shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. At the age of 4, Richard Nixon wrote a 2-man play about dogs that colonize Mars. Mars Doggies was never put on. Gerald Ford was fond of saying, "This sucks, and I should know because I'm named after..." What do you mean? Ford makes cars, not vacuums? Aw, nuts. Jimmy Carter can eat more chicken wings than you. You want a race? The best man at the wedding of Ronald Reagan to his wife Nancy was Optimus Prime. George H.W. Bush never bathed in a shower, but rather insisted on getting clean on a slip and slide. Bill Clinton slept on a pile of Beanie Babies. George W. Bush can eat more ice cream than you. You want a race? Which brings us to Barack Obama, who's not only a wood nymph summoned by a penny whistle, but also the same wood nymph that haunted the teeth of George Washington.